How you doing? Charlie Winters here. Um, I thought I'd start with the daily profit and loss. I've updated the site. Um, Disappointing Saturday, pretty much a non-event Friday. I'll just recap this. So the 21st of January, which was Friday, um, Market Raisin was abandoned. So in the end, we had a horse that was 4-1 that came placed. So with that being in lucky 15, we showed an 80 pence loss. Nothing really, but it's a shame we couldn't have the other runners. Saturday wasn't very good. £36.20 staked. The nap of the day won. Royal Pagaille. Tough race. Pretty much how I described how the race would happen. It grinded them into submission really, basically. It returned 5-2. I took 11-4. So with that was the only winner of the day. Apart from the late selection, Shishkin. Well, to be honest, with how much battle it showed, I held my hands up. Everything happened that I thought would happen. I thought it would really get tested, and it looked beat pretty much from halfway. And then, as good horses do, it really dug in. I thought the second had outdone it, but it just ground it out at the end, and then it won quite comfortably towards the end. I say the last few strides, but yeah. So let's get on to Monday, the 24th of January. So let's flick over to the selections. Feel free to visit the site. It's cw-tips.com. Well, today's selections. Well, the selections for Monday. This has been recorded on Sunday evening. Right. The first selection is Steps in the 5 o'clock at Wolverhampton with with my rating of 7 out of 10 chance of a return for your money. The price is 9-1, and the 50p each way look 15 is advised to be put on with Paddy Power. Feel free, if you haven't got a Paddy Power account, use the account of choice that you already have. The second horse is Bailey's Eminence in the 5:30 at Wolves, 7.5 out of 10, 7-1. Judy's Park, 115, Kempton, 8 out of 10. Price is 5-1. And the outsider in the lucky 15 is Julie Johnston, 145 at Kempton, 6.5 out of 10 at 25-1. Right. Julie Johnson, let's start with this one first. Actually, before I did the tipping line, I actually backed this myself when Holly Doyle rode it both times. Then it was trained by David Evans. I can remember this race actually quite clear because basically it was just stuck in the middle of the race, or it never actually did anything. Didn't really lose any ground, didn't really gain any ground. It just looked, towards race, shake it up, some headway, not clear run, kept on. Same again, midfield, short of room, kept on. It went to John Bridger from David Evans' stable, and it's been ridden by George Rook a couple of times. Then obviously you've got Tom Marquardt and Kent. I would like to see this horse tomorrow, ridden in mid division, and then come for a late run. But I do think this is the one of the worst races it's actually participated in. I mentioned about Holly Doyle. Well, the horse was rated 57, 58 and 57 then, and it had a racing postmarks of 59. I do believe if it runs up to that mark, it's off 52 today, so it's £7, well, £5 lower on one occasion and £6 lower than that time. I do believe if it runs to this form, and this was also at Kempton, then I think it's got a cracking chance. Sorry, I say also at Kempton. Sorry, apologies. That was at today's Wolverhampton. But I do think if it races mid division, it's got a cracking chance. Sorry, I made a mistake then. Actually, sorry. Yes, the race I was talking about was actually it was the 145 at Kempton. Because I did them out of order, I was actually thinking at Wolverhampton. So yes, Julie Johnson did put up a good performance at Kempton, and I'm fully expecting the same again. With that, I'd expect to place minimum. Right, let's start from the beginning. Right, steps. Well, it's a Mark Johnston and Charlie Johnston horse. It's not done a great deal so far, but once again, it's a terrible race that it's in. It's the second best horse in the race on ratings, but also it led and it raced freely, prominent, led after one furlong. It was up there all the time, then it faded towards the end, then eased. Well, this race is actually terrible. So if this one can get to the lead again, I think this time it could. Well, you know what Johnson's horses are like. Once they get to the lead, they can be very hard to pass. This definitely isn't one of the better ones, but I do think it can put up an improved performance. But even the performance last time is enough to get it competitive in this very poor handicap. Bailey's Eminence. Well, this could be anything. You got this Amy Murphy trained horse has actually got Holly Doyle on board, which I'm a big fan of Holly. Well, as you can see at Kempton, did nothing. Dwell. Then at Chelmsford, for inexperienced horses, for ones that aren't near the pace, is pretty much game over if you're towards the bag. As you can see there, never better than mid division. Obviously, 100 to 1, not really expected. Dropped in trip. Chase leaders on outer. Well, obviously, it showed a lot of pace there. Took a very wide run and obviously weakened. So then I do expect this horse to go much better this time. The odds of 9 to 1. I do think it'll get backed in slightly. Holly Doyle and Tom Markham do ride quite a lot for Amy Murphy. Definitely on fancied horses, so this could be interesting. And the final selection is Judy's Park. Well, I'll just scroll down to the form. Well, this horse, it runs in cheap pieces for the first time, and as you can see, slowly away, hampered towards rear. Pulled hard, held up behind leaders. Awkward start, slow into stride towards rear. Dwelt in rear. Well, personally, I think these cheap pieces could make it concentrate because horses that are a bit timid or can't concentrate, the last thing you want to do is horses to. They may think twice about passing horses when they're too busy looking around. So I think these cheap pieces, they could be interesting. They could actually bring out some improvement, but by making it focus on actually running and racing. And then you've got Harry Davies taking off another important £7. So it's quite interesting because he's never really been beaten very far. A length, 1.25 lengths, 3.5 lengths, 4 lengths, 2.5 lengths. And yeah, I do think this horse could run a very big race at an half decent price. 11 to 2, nice if it comes in. So there we have it. Today's 50p each way lucky 15 for Monday, the 24th of January. All the best, everybody.